So we'll now move on to the next speaker, who is Umaima Madhoori. She is the founder and business consultant at the Planners Project. She is a member of an association of small business consultants in the USA. She's also a board member at the Information and Operation Intelligence, LLC. She is a founder of an international food retail startup. She's been educated at the University of Glasgow in commerce and economics. She is a brand manager, and she was previously the incubation manager at Innovation Park Muscat, and she was also previously at the Research Council. Umaima will be speaking about moving towards knowledge-based economy, the right blend of knowledge and skills for career creation and advancement.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. I'm very pleased and humbled to stand in front of you today and give you some thoughts about movement toward knowledge-based economy, the effects of this on an HRD and the employment, and what we can learn from our experience in being part of a knowledge-based ecosystem. Basically, to start off, I'm sure that knowledge-based economy is a term has been used multiple times, maybe today or during this current years, and you've heard a lot about it, and you might read about it, but it's kind of maybe a heavy term, so I'll give a brief about it. So knowledge economy or knowledge-based economy is a result of the fourth industrial revolution. As simple. The previous economy ages was relying more into the energy generation and the machinery. So we started by carbon energy, and then moved to steam machinery and energy, and then suddenly we came up to the computerization and internet age, which was the third industrial revolution, and then that already سهل and made it easier for the fourth industrial revolution to come in, because it's just all about advancing the computerization and using of internet. So a lot of outcomes out of that. So you will hear now new terms and new techniques are around, like the AR, AI, and IoT, and maybe genetic re-engineering using the digitalization and whatever. But all of these are key aspects that's moving the industry nowadays. They are embedded in all traditional industries. So we don't say that there is no more manufacturing or agriculture or medications industry. It's already there, and it will stay there, but we are embedding the digital aspects in every bit of them. So you could see a medical doctor moving from performing surgeries as a traditional way by just like supervising a robotic doing it instead of him, or maybe supervising an innovation project that is all about creating a new way of performing surgery using another kind of techniques. And you will find these kind of doctors having another kind of analytical skills. They can be doing a feasibility for this innovation. They can do the financial calculation for his own inventions. So this is what we will see very frequently in this kind of economies. So it's a normal system as any economy. So relying on consumptions and production, but not on tangible assets and inputs, but intellectual capital that is based on basic and applied research and innovation. So economy-based or knowledge-based economy is a journey. And each country in the world are part of this journey, and in different stage, and there is a differentiation between each country. We will not speak today about where we are standing in this journey. This is relying on many reasons, and like the level of advancement and the level of readiness of the country and the human capital there and the technology as well. But we are talking here about another key factor about this journey, which is making the human resources ready for this journey to keep moving it and reach to the ultimate goal. So what does knowledge economy look like? Here we want to give a macro level of knowledge economy. How does it look like and the effect of it on HR and workplace and many other aspects. So knowledge economy, as you see, is relying on ICT information. It's embedded in all industries, as I said before. It's fueled by innovation, research, and rapid technology advancement. And as a result of that, you will find the assets of organization is kind of different now. It's basically patents, copyrights, and maybe software, know-how, exclusive procedures. So these are really valuable assets now, and it could worth millions and billions in many countries in the world. So the demanded job, as a result of the three factors above, will be more into analysis, more into data collection, the ability to deal with data science, more business and financial modeling. There are also the technical kind of job will still be there, but we want to link them more into with the kind of more analytical and data part of the jobs. The effect on HR out of that all is you will see the set of required skills is totally different nowadays. It's more into creativity, innovation, computer literacy, but high computer literacy, not just like this. Data analysis, financial, as I said, business analysis. You would see someone that, as I said before, working in totally different segments, but he's already doing some innovations and linking this with the financial part of it, because it's all about commercializing knowledge concepts that we get from research and innovation. Also, there is some sad news as a result of this kind of economy. There are more automated jobs and less labor kind of skills will be required. That's why you will see a big number of unemployment. But on the other side, you will see big chances and opportunities for entrepreneurs, fourth IR investors, tech innovators. They will get more acceptance now, and they will get more opportunities by the investors, by the regulations, because it's the time for them now. So it's also affecting the workplace. I suggest that we will not say in 5 to 10 years to come, workplace. We would say professional working ecosystem. Why I say so? Because technology is replacing the place. So there is no need for a place to work. And also technology is replacing people. So there's always alternative for people in the organization as well. They can just rely on something else. They can collaborate with professionals from the ecosystem that has the skills that they miss, or they can rely as well on cloud systems. So there is a lot of alternatives within this kind of ecosystem. Organizational job might not become the first choice nowadays. So people might go to more independent options of careers because they will feel more freedom to innovate and research more than they do in organizational jobs. And that all is and that's all a result of this kind of economy movement. So let's just give you key themes of this economy before we talk about how HR and corporates should deal with their HR. So working from home is working. We are already doing this now. Digital transformation of all services and business function is happening now and will be further happening to be maybe fully automated or transformed. Technology replacing workplace, we said this before, and COVID came and made this very quickly. So it's happening very quickly and by force, because many organizations just like resisted doing this, but this made it happening quickly. And that's already, requires the organization to build their cyber resilience, because the style of work just changed. Security is highly required now. So many other techniques need to be deployed in our processes. And because we have cut down many of our resources, why don't we cut down on our time length of processes to achieve more efficiency? So augmenting intelligence to just like accelerate work processes would be highly important, especially in reporting, in decision making, and these kind of simple processes that take long time. And we should also think about engaging and making the loyalty of remote workers. We do encourage remote work, but how to manage it? So you have remote workers everywhere. You should think about how to have their loyalty, engagement still on. There are less staffing, as I said before. Maybe consultancy roles will be required and outsourcing. And skilling will be continuing. So we've talked, I think you have heard many times today about upskilling and reskilling. This is to continue, but reskilling will be very important now, because many positions and roles will become obsolete, so we will not need them anymore. So it's important to reskill and acquire new kind of professions, or qualifications, just like to be suitable for the current market. So as a result, or as a conclusion of this kind of factors, digitalization is leading to creating new structure of jobs, either cutting down many jobs or adding new more jobs that didn't exist for before 10 years. And how to cope with that. So as we are stressing here about skilling and in all types of, and all levels, corporate levels and personal level. So in corporate level, they really need to think about human capital as a very important factor, because all the economy is relying on intellectual part. So you need humans, but not any kind of human with special kind of skills and intellectual abilities. So the importance of human capital will rely on their knowledge capital. Knowledge capital of human is a kind of intangible value made up out of his knowledge, talent, relationships, and even ability to innovate, learn techniques, or learn techniques that is exclusively got by him or by her. These are really important in the selected staff in these kind of economies. Unlike production capital at the old kind of economies, we used to think that the capital is on labor, on machinery, on properties and assets that we have. But now it's all about the know-how of exploiting these, the know-how of making innovative products or innovative services of all of these, usual properties. So every other organization having these, but how we do managing it innovatively to create value. Companies also would have the higher competitive advantage the more they have higher knowledge capital within their staff. So how the companies should think about creating high knowledge capital or enhancing it. So companies could fully exploit knowledge capital by restructuring. I don't recommend here to restructure, but I say to think about how HR departments should look like. It's not the normal payroll, recruitment, and the other kind of work HR work does every day. It should be focusing on talent hunting, selecting the right people, and if we have some people, just where to place them, manage them correctly. So if you have an engineer with better business modeling and financial modeling skills, he better be in business development. So this is what we what we stress here is about talent hunting and management and creating knowledge management systems within the organizations. It's also important to encourage staff to showcase their talent. So we have maybe a lot of staff. You have maybe thousands of staff. You cannot recognize the talents between these numbers. So it's good to just open the space for them to just show what they have. And then you decide how to utilize those people. And you can also open the chance for continuous training. And as most of you are just like recommending, training would be with a small percentage, but training and in different levels will be required to just like make sure that you have people the people developing within their specialization, or to just like have kind of transformation or having them in different segments if you see them fitting other segments. It's also important to continue reflective discussion. So the staff should be speaking with maybe senior levels, have an exposure on strategic level. It's important for them to understand the aspirations of the organizations. It's important for them to know how they plan their career by understanding what is the future of this company, what is the future of the economy as well. It's really rarely if you can see a really junior staff who's knowing where he wants to head after 10 years. But if you create more engagement and more inclusive organization, you'll get more of these kind of people. It's also important to include them in seminars, white papers, just like to open the chance for them for knowledge transfer and building up their abilities. Also, it's okay and very, very important initiatives to have local R&D departments within the organizations. It's two-way winning aspect it's two-way winning for both staff and the organization. R&D department or internal R&D department will allow the staff to work more on learning, research, and developing new concepts for the organizations. The company at the end could own a lot of intangible assets, as we said before. They can develop some patents, develop some exclusive procedures, and on the other hand, the staff will be encouraged to just like build their capabilities and knowledge by working within this chance. But at the end, it's important to create a knowledge management system to retain the knowledge created and invested by the company, because as the usual results, there is turnover, people will leave sometimes, so it's important to have a well-systemized knowledge management system. And last thing I wanted to talk about here is skilling on a personal level. You might think about why an employee could think about skilling himself or herself while he's employed by a company and they are responsible about him. And this is wrong perspective as I see. I see there's a drive, there's an internal drive in human beings. They want to learn and they want to develop, maybe for better organizational position or better career path, or they want to shift to a better independent career. There is people who would think about, I'm moving toward my own business or a kind of freelancing or wherever. But in both cases, if it's a personal decision, you need to assess the economy and the demand very well. It needs to be matching the knowledge-based requirements, because there is no point of investing 5 to 10 weeks or months to develop or reskill, but the skill that you have chosen is just like obsolete. You just like think about things that will be needed in the future. So assess the economy needs, see where you are in this within this revolution. What do you own and what do you don't, and what do you miss, and then try to just like find some intellectual kind of development trainings, seminars, be part of professional groups, and there are a lot of alternatives virtually and physically to develop. And it's also as well, and it's also important as well to invest on intellectual, intangible assets. So why not having an innovation that is patented? If you have an idea, try to find out how to copyright it. Make a value for yourself. And I'm sure that most of you here are in HR, so this is maybe an advice for yourself, not for yourself, but to tell the people you have in your organization, maybe not for you. And that all about what I have prepared for you today. To close, I wanted to say something that whatever learning or education opportunities we are looking for, it should be focusing on, not building the technical side only, but building the analytical side and building, the kind of thinking, the flexible kind of thinking. So it won't last if you studied or if you have learned something for 5 days. It won't last with you for another 5 years, because economies trends are changing. So the more flexible you are, the more you get, the more chance for yourself to develop and adopt new skills, or be ready and absorb new changes. That's all, and thank you for your time and listening.
Thank you very much, Umaima. That was great, and you mentioned quite a few things there, including kind of how to improve and market yourself. And I encourage students and job seekers to also see if they can start working somewhere for free. Maybe don't expect a salary to start off with. See what you can learn. See how you can impress organizations. At least you can start somewhere. Umaima mentioned self-employment, which is a very important topic, and she said that this is becoming more common in Oman, as is the case in other countries. Maybe this is a topic which can be taught. I'm sure that your organization does teach a lot about self-employment, but also maybe even earlier at school level, so people can expect that at one point they might be self-employed, and it's an option that people should consider. We know that many SMEs and startups fail, so it's important for organizations such as Riyadh as well to see what support they can give, and they've been working very hard on this. She mentioned remote working, and I was wondering if maybe in Oman we can come up with a platform like they have in other countries where as a self-employed person you can list your company there, show the certificates that you have, and it can become like because the future is going to be the gig economy, which Dr. Amar Awas mentioned yesterday. Something like Uber, where you have jobs on the go, you can confirm which jobs you want, and it's not the regular type of working that we're used to today. She also mentioned IP and copyrights, which is something which is now starting to be developed by the Ministry of Commerce as well. So lots of useful information there. So thank you, Umaima.